Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world right now joining us. It is so good to be with you. I'm Charlene. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Tell me where you're joining from. Say hello in the chat. Nancy joins us from Florida, a fellow Floridian. Nancy, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Tammy, hello, nice to see you. Elmira, greetings, so glad you're here. Tammy from Wisconsin. Grace Ann and Tammy, thank you for indicating about the sound. This is one of the reasons we always take a few minutes at the top and really let the space settle, especially on a full moon. If you're having sound problems on Insight Timer, which sometimes happens, we also stream live simultaneously on YouTube. Just look up my name, Charlene. You can join us there. Wonderful. Kelly, good morning from Arizona. So glad you're here. Almaz, good morning to you as well. Judy, nice to see you. Grace Ann says, I'm so looking forward to this. Yay. I'm delighted. Yay. Nancy, thank you for letting us know about the sound as well on Insight Timer. If it's convenient, go ahead and pop over to YouTube. You can stream it live, free. On our YouTube channel, just look up my first name, Charlene. This is really interesting of what we're being called to settle into right now. And it's truly that, of settling into the space in a more from a place of greater awareness. The bowls are very intense today. Just sitting in front of them is, they are reflecting back quite a lot of light. Since today is a full moon, not just any full moon, it is the blue moon. It makes a lot of sense that this reflection is coming through pretty strongly. Interesting. Good morning, Nancy. Yeah, Tree, thank you for joining us. Apparently there's sound issues, Robin, on Insight Timer. If you'd like to pop over to our YouTube channel. Jeremy, how's it going? It's Insight Timer. It's Insight Timer, unfortunately. These things happen. They have been updating all of their technical side, their hardware and software that we are connecting into and with, and they've let us know that sometimes it just doesn't work. So there you have it. And that's okay. That's true for all of life. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But if you'd like for it to work, never fear. Offline is exciting. I'm just going to keep playing and just see what comes out right now. And then we'll get into the session in a little bit later. So don't worry, you're not missing anything. You are exactly where you are meant to be every moment of every day. And apparently today is lining up to be a pretty good session. Because there's something that is thinking maybe we shouldn't be doing this. These are always the best. So just however much you can or can't hear, just begin to settle in your body. Just allowing your body to find a little bit more ease. Gail, sending love back to you as well over on YouTube, joining us from Ocean Park, Washington. Shazad, nice to see you, my friend in the UK. Appreciate your patience as we're helping our friends on Insight Timer settle and shift through. Perfect. Elmira, found you here. Thank you so much. Much better. Good. Hey, Tammy. Yes, sound is definitely better. I'm so glad you found us. Dawn from Arizona, nice to see you. Appreciate you joining us. Mary, good morning from Buffalo, New York. The sound is fine. Perfect. And I love those pussycat emojis. Kelly, also joining us from Insight Timer here on YouTube from Arizona. City Dawn, nice to see you. Peace and rich rising to you as well. Hope you've had a beautiful day. Hi, Frankie. Glad you joined us as well. Tammy, Wisconsin in the house. My friends, today is a very interesting day. You can feel the energy. Even when I walked into the studio today, it is a very different vibration. We're coming into a time when much is going on in the patterns of life. We see these patterns reflected in how people choose to show up in the world, how governments choose to respond and connect to each other. We see these patterns replicating all around us all of the time. And a lot of it starts in the sky. For that which is happening outside of us is actually not only an indication, but also a reflection of what's going on inside of us, and vice versa. So anytime we have interesting patterns forming, like we do right now, it is a perfect time to really pause, turn within, and reevaluate what in the heck are we doing and why. And sometimes we find that we are doing exactly the right thing. We are on exactly the right path. We are exactly where we should be. Hot dog. And other times, we find opportunities for redirections. Sometimes it's a minor course correction. Sometimes it's a major journey overhaul. So no matter where you find yourself in these times, just know that simply by looking, by asking, and then allowing yourself to make these even just subtle shifts, you are doing exactly what you need to be doing. And today, I'm so excited about today being a full moon, not only a full moon, but a blue moon, the second full moon of the month. And leaning into the theme, the topic, where we are headed, our trajectory today, the horizon of wisdom. So let's just begin with the name itself, with the horizon herself. So I'd just like for you to close your eyes for a second and call to mind perhaps the last time or a recent time, a time that really stands in your mental imagery where you stood somewhere outside, open, like a beach, a wide field, maybe even a high window from the inside looking out, and you gazed at that horizon. What did you see? You saw that long level line where the earth meets the sky. And notice how even in just remembering that moment of looking upon the horizon, notice what it did, what it does to your body. Your eyes softened, calmed, your body started to settle a little bit more, your breathing started to slow just a little bit, something in you felt a little more steady. That's because our bodies are built to find the horizon. So surprisingly, the horizon isn't really an object that's out there. Think of the horizon as a meeting place. It's simply the farthest point that your sight, your vision can reach before the curve of the earth bends everything beyond it and out of view. So the horizon actually sits at your eye level and it moves with you. It's unique to you. Your horizon is not the same as mine. You see, you stand taller, you climb higher, and your horizon widens. It shifts. So no two people standing in different places ever share the exact same horizon. The horizon is the line where your inner seeing meets the outer world. And every discipline really locks into this deep understanding of the horizon. Any discipline that's ever had to navigate some sort of life-changing moment or opportunity or creation, it really leans into the idea of the horizon, into this line. Think about the sailor. She takes her bearing from the horizon. When the deck is pitching and her stomach's turning, she fixes her eyes on the horizon, and that inner world literally begins to settle. A painter, an artist, before anything else, starts with a horizon. It's the one line in art that tells every other line, every other color, every light, shadow, every other shape in a painting, how large it should be, where it belongs, because without it, a scene is just flat noise. So in both, the horizon is that line that brings order and proportion or perspective to everything that we're taking in. Now, speaking of the skies, to an astrologer, they take the horizon one step farther. They actually make it a little more personal. So at the exact moment when you were born, there's one precise degree of the zodiac was actually rising over the eastern sky. And in astrology, they call that your ascendant or your rising sign, literally rising off of your horizon. And your entire birth chart is built outward from that single rising point. It's one of the most personal angles that you have because it is tuned to that exact moment when you entered, when you shuffled onto this mortal coil in your exact place of birth. And no one else's horizon was quite like yours, never really will be quite like yours because the skies are constantly changing. So the horizon is always a boundary of sight, but it's never the fullness of truth. Things pass below it without ceasing to exist. We can see part of things hovering above, and yet the things below that are hidden are still there. So last night, while most of the world slept, the moon came to her fullest, a blue full moon in Sagittarius. And then just a few hours ago, at least where we are here, the moon slipped below that horizon line. So you can't see her right now in the daylight, and yet her frequency is still holding full all the way through this morning, gone from view, but never gone from the sky. So there's an ancient teaching. What holds true does not stop holding simply because we can no longer see it. And just like that moon that's full, even though she's no longer visible, right now, where we're sitting is a perfect time to feel into what holds true, even when we can't see it. So today, the calendar says, yay, it's a blue moon, woohoo, the second full moon in a single month. The first back on May 1st was in that deep, watery, oceanic sign of Scorpio. And today, May 31st, it's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is often depicted as a centaur drawing a bow. Or as I like to think of it, him, her, we'll call it her, though it's often depicted as a him, as the sage archer. The archer's full moon, that Sagittarian full moon, points us steadily towards wisdom and also a deep love of truth. And in astronomy, Sagittarius literally points, the stars themselves literally align to the heart of the Milky Way, into the galactic center, because Sagittarius we perceive archetypally as the one who has traveled far and seen farther. The keeper of the long view. And it's the archer's wisdom and that mastered art of holding the tension of the bow, but not yet firing at every target. It's discernment. It's an act of distillation, separating out or extracting out just the essential elements of a substance in order to focus and understand its parts and how those parts affect us. So just like our sage archer, today we too can tune our attention, draw that bow back, and hold until our one true trajectory emerges and shows us where we should place our focused attention and intention. Have you noticed how our lives are just filled with endless, constant streams of information all around us all the time, going, going, going? Well, what if those data streams are not our galactic center? They're not the heart of where we should head. What if we need a more focused wisdom to help illuminate the next steps of our journey? What if? Today, we're going to explore that idea. And to help bring these patterns more focused and clear and powerfully present into our bodies, I'm going to invite you today to use an ancient technology called a mudra. Now, a mudra is just a Sanskrit word that means a gesture or a seal. And maybe it looks a little bit like just different ways to hold your hands or fingers, but actually something real is happening inside your physical circuitry. You see, there's a map that neurologists draw of the body across the surface of the brain. It's called the cortical homunculus. Cortical, connecting to the brain, homunculus, tiny man. So there's literally a tiny man drawn across your brain. This is not some ancient, weird thing. This is actual modern day science. And if you notice, you can see how the hands are wildly out of proportion to the rest of your body. See how much territory they claim of the sensory and the motor cortex. And that's because your fingertips are some of the most densely wired tissue that you have in your body. They are packed with receptors firing straight into the brain at very high resolution. So when you fold your fingers into various deliberate patterns, you aren't just making an cool idle shape. I mean, maybe you are, but actually you are closing a circuit and sending a dense, specific signal inward along one of those, high bandwidth channels that the body has inside your neurology. So a simple gesture actually becomes a seal, a way of pressing a state quietly, easily, effortlessly into the body, so that long after the sounds of today fade, you can actually go back to this same feeling and expression simply by forming the shape again. That's why we use mudras so often in our practices. So to better understand the mudra that we'll be connecting into today, we are inspired by the lineage of the gene keys. The gene keys is a system that actually maps human consciousness across 64 archetypal frequencies. And we love archetypes here. Archetypes show up as repeated patterns in our lives, so they make sense to us. They're familiar. They are easy to access. And in the gene keys, each frequency has 3 tiers or vibrations. It has the shadow, that low frequency where we can easily get stuck. It has the gift, that creative middle. That same energy actually just becomes useful. And then it has the siddhi, the highest full flowering form, ever-moving stillness. So today we are using the reflection of the full moon's light to illuminate our own inner wisdom, working with Gene Key 43 and its 3 frequencies that shape our entire journey, moving from darkness into insight. We are moving towards the idea of epiphany, wisdom, insight, revelation. But how do we get there? Well, we start with deafness, the shadow of deafness, moving us into the gift of insight, and finally leading us into epiphany, that breakthrough that only comes when we can hear the insights calling from deep within. So today we're going to activate the mudra of epiphany. And this is what it looks like. You actually create a figure 8 between your fingers, your forefingers, your index fingers, and your thumb, just like this. And you link them. And then this is actually called a lemniscate. It's an infinity sign. So if I say lemniscate, that's what I'm referring to. And then from here, you just gently allow your fingers to interlace. Just easily, I'm just going to interlace. And then they sort of cup. I'm just going to hold my hands here so my thumb and my index finger are floating above this sort of cup that's happening now in my hands. And you can feel that into yours. And the fingers remain relaxed. You can feel that small bowl happening underneath this infinity sign. It's comfortable, yet a little bit tight. It's not going anywhere. You can feel into this physical connection. And I'd like for you just to hold this position for a moment and just begin to breathe. And as you breathe, it becomes easy to begin to feel why we started this whole conversation about the horizon, that lemniscate, that infinity, that figure 8 that your fingers are making right now. That is the horizon line made portable. It's your own horizon line held here in your hands. That endless stream of information lives above the line. The whole sky lives above the horizon. And it's that small bowl that your fingers form beneath. Think of it as the space that captures those crystal clear drops that will distill downward your truth, separated from the noise of the rest. So when you hold this mudra of epiphany, welcome easy breathing. You can allow your hands just to rest in your lap if that feels good, or keep them locked into your body somewhere. Find a place that just feels welcoming to you. Just let its natural patterns begin to unfold deep within your neurochemistry even now, and just breathe. Anytime you feel it starts to be a little too much, you can just gently let it go. And then come back to it and just sit with that. And allow this mudra to begin to work into your physiology. You can already probably start to feel a little bit of resistance coming up for some of you, and that's okay. If you need to release it, let it go. And breathe. Take a deep breath in, holding that breath in. And as you slowly exhale, feel your heart begin to settle and relax. And for some of you, you're really enjoying that. That mudra of epiphany, of revelation. Wherever you find yourself in connecting to this physical expression today is perfect. Just allow. Bringing more comfort and ease into your body. Settling. If you'd like to keep your body easily, effortlessly erect, your spine straight, seated, feeling that chair or surface beneath you, really allowing it to connect more deeply into your sits bones. Or if you'd like to lie down, if you'd like to lay your body down, that's fine too. Just begin to make sure that you can honor that beautiful mudra of epiphany, however you find your body, whether upright or prone, witnessing the breath. Bring your awareness gently now to the center of your chest, to that heart space, and one slow inhalation, noticing how it feels to breathe all the way in and then all the way out. When we're stressed or scattered, the rhythm between our heartbeats is also scattered. It becomes jagged and erratic. It spikes, it drops, it sort of jitters. But under the right conditions that you can create anytime, anywhere, your heart will actually smooth into a beautiful rhythm of these even, long waves, ordered, almost beautifully musical. Your heart, your breath, and your nervous system begin to fall into one rhythm. We call that rhythm coherence. And we create coherence first by focusing on your heart, gently moving your attention away from your thoughts, letting it settle down actually deep into the area of your chest, into your heart, resting your attention here, as though you could see from this spot, as though you can breathe from this area. And begin heart-focused breathing, which is breathing in through your heart and breathing out through your heart, noticing how your breathing begins to slow, begins to deepen. Feel how that breath is flowing in and out through your heart, feeling its rhythm begin to slow and settle, taking a beautiful, easy inhalation in, holding, and then releasing. Begin to breathe into a rhythm. Breathing into a count of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now find your perfect rhythm. This balanced, perfected breath, equal length of inhalation and exhalation. Stay with it, bringing more coherence, more ease into your body. Without any effort, to activate this deeper level of coherence. As you keep breathing through your heart, call forth a feeling, a deep, expressive feeling. Search for a feeling of appreciation or gratitude, love or care. These are feelings that most of us can easily call to mind. It's easy to be thankful to someone, for an opportunity, a moment in time, a place you visited, someone who loves you unconditionally, the ever-constant presence of a little furry friend. Begin to call forth this gratitude and appreciation for that person, instance, place, space, being. Appreciation, gratitude, care, or love. And as you breathe, you realize you don't need to manufacture this feeling. It's already there. And you call it forth even more profoundly, bringing it into your mind, but then begin to feel it magnifying itself. Its genuine expression flowing through you, beginning to radiate from your chest into the rest of your body like warmth, spreading outward with each and every exhale you take. Allow that gratitude and appreciation to expand, to lock in. Connect to this coherence, breath, heart, feeling, all locked into one beautiful, ordered rhythm. your attention now to shift back into your hands, into that mudra of epiphany, of revelation now. That little figure eight, the little bowl underneath, breathing easily, allowing the breath just to hold this work. And with each breath out, let yourself drop a little below that horizon of chatter, of outside noise. Sinking more deeply away from that constant online feed, below the running tally of everything you're supposed to know or respond to or do or comment on, have an opinion about. You don't need to carry any of that right now. It's easy just to let that go as you go deeper and deeper. And just for these few minutes, everything can happen in the surface above you, and yet you feel untouched as you settle here more deeply into the warm quiet of your own center. Breathing, feeling a gentle coherence gathering, the breath and the heartbeat finding that same perfect rhythm, a warm, steady frequency humming underneath. You are a creator with limitless potential. And it's easy to begin to feel more grounded into that truth. If you have a grounding practice, I invite you to begin that now. If not, think, imagine, or feel a beautiful golden cord of light that originates at the base of your spine, about the width of your hips. And see this golden cord begin to descend out of your body, down through the surface beneath you, down into the rich, dark earth below, until it find a place that feels settling to your system. Perhaps that's far into the very bedrock of the core of the planet. Perhaps it's closer to the surface. Wherever it is, wherever feels right, allow your cord to root itself there, wrapping, connecting, aligning, feeling held. Some of you may wish to allow that cord to grow wider or stronger. Let it be exactly what you need right now. Beautiful. That perfect balance and harmony. And any time through the journey today that you feel ready to release, to set down something, a thought, a frequency, any leftover static, you can simply think, imagine, or feel that energy information dissolve down that golden cord of grounding light, recycling itself back into our precious Mother Earth below. The cord stays with you the entire session until you're ready to release it and create a new cord, which you can do anytime, anywhere. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, and now from this deeply rooted place, slowly exhale. And in the theater of your mind, allow an image to begin to form. It simply arrives the way a landscape resolves slowly, as if out of the morning mist. Suddenly, you see yourself standing in a beautiful landscape, high and open. Perhaps it's a hilltop, perhaps it's a wide plateau, Maybe it's a field that runs on forever and ever. Feel the ground beneath your feet. That very same earth your golden cord of grounding light is rooted into. And far out ahead of you, at the edge of all of that open space, is the horizon. That long, level line. You let your eyes touch it as they always do. Your gaze rests on that line. You may begin to notice that you are not alone. Some distance away, standing easily against the horizon, is a figure, a silhouette, and the image becomes more clear. You can see it is the archer, the sage archer, the one who has traveled far and seen farther, the adventurer. Notice how she stands, completely still, yet not stiff, at ease. She holds a bow, yet it's lowered, resting at her side. She's in no hurry. She has stood at this horizon thousands of times, and she knows its ancient secret. And that secret begins to whisper inside your own heart, inside your ears. And it reminds you that we do not meet the vastness, the universe, by rushing towards it. We meet it by growing still enough to read and interpret it, and then moving forward. And it's in this moment of stillness where clarity arrives, and you might feel that stillness even where you stand or sit or lie right now, more relaxed, even more coherent. Allow that calmness to reach down deep into you, your own breath beginning to match that unhurried rhythm of someone who has all the time she needs. And as her stillness settles into you, allow your own field to quietly come to life again. You're simply here on your own ground, at your own horizon, taking in how much of this field is genuinely yours. Feel its vibrations begin to awaken the very cells of your body, and breathe. Feel into your kingdom. Feel into this space of potential. Feel into that horizon line where everything streaming in from the world meets the one still place that is unmistakably yours, that destiny to move forward. And right now, there's nothing to do with that line. Just stand. Feel yourself standing tall beside the archer, looking out at the horizon together. Daylight ahead of you, the moon's luminosity coolly radiating behind you, the warm, coherent fire of your heart, steady and true, your golden cord of grounding, rooted deep into the earth. Taking a deep breath in slowly, holding that breath in, finding that balance and repose as you slowly exhale. You are here. You are safe. And you are ready. And from this place of stillness, the archer's stillness now reflecting and becoming your own, begin to observe yourself. Look honestly at your own field, Allow yourself to observe what's in your energy space with no judgment, no need to be affected or displaced or pulled around by whatever you find there, no matter how desirable or maybe not so much. Just look, observe. Allow it to be what it is, which is just a profound source of information. Observe your information to yourself. Notice what actually arrived with you today. Maybe you detect a particular texture to it, maybe a smoothness or a roughness, like a kind of static, the hum of a stream that never closes, the pull of everything you're meant to know or keep up with or weigh in on. Maybe even underneath it, a small sense of sad smallness, of being one faint, tiny signal against a seemingly massive ocean of noise. A mind that has been asked to listen to everything and so can no longer quite hear anything. Perhaps a part of you, maybe small, maybe large, that's somehow caught up in a perpetual state of deafness. Feel into those spaces, those places. And as you breathe, you remember that deafness is not a fault in your hearing. No, it's far gentler than that. Deafness is simply a momentary disconnect. It happens to all. You are not alone in that phenomenon. It's an inability to perceive a signal that's always been there, waiting, just beneath what you can't perceive, at least what you can perceive right now. Sometimes our ears are deafened by data, static, and noise that's never broken, and we're just flooded. Simply observe. Observe where you wish to perceive something deeper, but feel unable to do so yet. Simply feel into where you're standing at the edge of a stream in this beautiful field, but maybe that stream's been running a little too long for a little too loud. There's no failing that. It just is. And as you breathe, you find comfort in the archer who stands tall beside you. She's seen this countless times, and she doesn't flinch, she doesn't fight. She just notices where the noise, that deafening flood of information is. And then she notices where the line, the horizon sits in relation to that noise. And as you observe where you are on the line, seeing the horizon clearly, allowing it to somehow subtly inform you right now. You're not seeking an answer. You're experiencing the observation, and you breathe. yourself to reactivate that mudra of epiphany. Feel it fully alive in your hands now, that figure 8 and your fingertips, your fingers cupping underneath, feeling into your own horizon, breathing into it, allowing that small bowl to begin receiving from your horizon as you breathe. Feel that in your physical body. Take a deep breath in, hold that breath in, then return to the image in your mind. Here, beside you, the archer turns. Without a word, she offers you her bow, and you see yourself reach out and take it. That bow settles into your hands. It's weightless, perfectly balanced, as though it has been meant for you. And with a knowing smile, she's granted you a priceless gift. Her ancient art is now becoming your natural ability. The gift to calmly focus on the horizon of your destiny. The archer stays near, present, watching over your work. And yet, from this moment on, the work is yours and yours alone. And you choose to begin. Now, listen. Listen with your ears, yes, and listen with your heart. Hear with your body. Hear with those cupped hands, the cupped bowl in your hands of that mudra, with the warm, living, multi-dimensional portal of your sacred heart. It's easy for you to begin to hear more deeply beyond the realm of your beautiful, precious ears. Begin to experience tones as they ripple outward through your field, starting from the inside, rippling out through your heart, down into your arms, into your hands, down out your grounding cord, up through the crown of your head. Just begin to feel into these ripples and vibrations. Notice how any static is fading away, turning down, or simply just dissolving. There's no need to push it. Just allow the volume to shift for you as you sink deeper, down more deeply into this silken water where a clear single tone, your clear single tone, lives. Feel your hearing begin to come back to life. And here, in this hush beneath the static, something rises to meet you. It's not a thought. It's not a conclusion. It's a spontaneous knowing. Faint and certain signals surfacing from somewhere far below, deep from your inner stillness. And this is the gift that the archer has promised you, the gift of insight, the grace of knowing the wisdom of the ages for you. And instinctively you feel yourself draw that archer's bow with attention and intention, drawing your focus not to the noise of the horizon, but to that one central focus. It's as though you can see a tiny sparkling star far in the distance in front of you, that connection to the galactic center. And you allow the single line to reveal itself truly to you. You know it by its texture. You know it by its feeling. This is your own knowingness coming to life. Feel that quiet, solid line of your inner voice, that inner vibration and frequency pointing you forward to your galactic center. Think, imagine, or feel your own clear signal gathering, brightening, becoming. And the sweetest tone of all arrives. Wisdom, revelation, epiphany. And you feel that revelation of bright inner light kindling up within you, swelling up brighter and brighter still until it crests into a quiet, blazing breakthrough. An opening from inside to something far more vast and limitless as a midnight sky. And in that instance, your inner voice and that divine revelation fuses as one, your truest knowing, and the source it pours from sound together as a single resonant tone, and you breathe, chasing nothing. You hold that bow steady and focused, drawing your light into this fullest tension that's getting ready, ripening, preparing to release. Feeling that arrow moving towards the galactic center, that sparkling diamond of light in front of you. Feeling this release and the focus that comes with connecting to your intention, your target, your goal, your direction. And from a place of stillness, focused towards the horizon in front of you, you hear yourself say, I hear what is mine to hear. Truth to settle in through you, knowing the sound of your truth, allowing it to arrive in whatever way is right for you. Feeling into that. Sinking more deeply into that knowledge, the wisdom that is coming up through you to you. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, and as you slowly release your breath, in your mind's eye, you feel the archer turn and face you. And for a moment, the two of you simply stand together, eye to eye, at the edge of your horizon. You see her, and she sees you, the one has awakened, who has shifted away from deafness into insight and touched the wisdom of epiphany and revelation. She sees you, the one who found the single true line and is following it all the way back home to that galactic center. And you see her too, and you understand. She was never a stranger to you at all. Instead, she is a part of you who has always known how to grow still, how to listen, how to let the one true thing rise up from all of the noise. Her art has always been your art, and she has come to remind you. The archer lifts a hand to her heart, bowing her head to you, honoring your higher self and the journey that you have taken today. And from your own heart, you bow to her in return. A gift given, a gift received. The wisdom is yours and continues to arrive in its perfect time. The epiphany, no matter how bright and shiny or sparkly, comes in its perfect time, in its perfect way. And it stays with you long after the horizon is gone. And softly and slowly the archer turns back towards the horizon, steps into that level line of light, and disappears, becoming the horizon. Take a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart gently relax before you slowly exhale. Allowing your hands to release that mudra, the mudra of epiphany. Taking a deep breath in, placing your palms over your heart, drawing in new wisdom, new insight, feeling it radiate out of your hands and into the center of your chest, where it can root and rest and become you. Linger here a little longer. Feel these insights echo deeply within you. Taking a deep, gentle breath in, holding that breath, feeling the heart relax before you slowly exhale. Returning to this new now moment. And just before you do, know that the path is clear and quiet and familiar, a place you can return to anytime, anywhere. And anytime you choose to relax, to work, to allow in this way, you can return here and do so more quickly, more easily, more deeply each time you choose to relax to the sound of these chromatic crystal singing bowls. And now, allow yourself to gather everything that you came here for. Bring with you the stillness you found beneath the noise. Bring with you that single true line, the quiet knowing that's unmistakably yours. Bring with you the archer's bow, her steady focus, that calm resolve. Bring with you the horizon, the one you can feel now. And anytime the world grows loud, this is the place where everything pouring in meets the one that has already made it, has always been there, will always be here, and that is you. Gather it all up and carry it back with you now. And if this is your time to drift off into peaceful slumber, then rest well, dream sweetly, and allow the moon to see you through to the morning, the way she's been holding you all along, full, faithful, ever unseen, yet ever present. And when you awaken tomorrow, you'll be ready to traverse the horizon of your wisdom. Or if you're ready to step back into the fullness of the day, then come with me now. Take a slow, deep, full breath. And as you let it go, feel yourself returning all the way home to your body, arriving at the top of your head, descending down into your head, your throat, your chest, allowing yourself to sit there, to pause there just for a moment before you continue all the way down, sinking into your physical body, into your hips, your legs, all the way down into your toes. Finding movement coming back, gentle shift, stretch, yawn. Beginning to feel your energy rising again, bright and awake. And whenever you're ready in your own perfect time, your eyes beginning to bring you back into this present, perceived reality. And you know that your life story, the horizon of your destiny, is a little wider than you perhaps perceived. Your path more focused. And all of the sky is rushing to support your focused intention. For you connect to the horizon of your wisdom. And the world's constant stream still flows on, it always will. But now you deeply recognize the sound of your truth, and you hear what is yours to hear. And this place is alive within you every moment of every day. How are you doing, my friends? How was that for you? If you'd like to share your experience in the comments, I'd love to go through them with you. If you have any questions, let me know. And as you're writing those, let me share with you. It was interesting what came up. Tonally, we really set in the three main places today. We set in a fundamental tone of E, but we would move between E major and E minor. We really sort of hugged E minor more so. In classical music, E minor connects us into a hopeful restoration of a deeper truth and of life. So we were sitting in this beautiful hopeful restoration. Nothing was purely defined. Things would be hinted at, that there might be some opportunities to illuminate things within ourselves. And then we were guided into the theater of the mind, into this seat of insight, grounded into the fundamental tone of A. The seat of insight here in this third eye center. And the key of A in classical music is I always love it. It's this beautiful, innocent, heartfelt satisfaction. There's a deep hope, knowing that all is well, but there's also this deep hope of being reunited, which means that we have been separated, or we perceive ourselves to have been separate. And yet there's this powerful, dynamic, divine pull that's reminding us, oh, you're not. And for that to come up as you are holding, literally, this mudra of the infinity sign with your hands clasped together, feeling more deeply into your body, I just thought that was so profound and really, really beautiful. Of course, how not only how the bowls speak to us, but how our energies unfurl in a way that we can access. It was very interesting moving through the energy of the full moon today. They always are, right? And this one was definitely, it had the power and presence of that sage archer, the wise archer. And yet it also had this sort of underlying, let's get to work because there's adventure to be had, but you gotta do the work first. Archetypally, the major six was very profound in our work today. And why that matters is that major six is the archetype of the explorer, the adventurer. So what did you explore today? What lands did you traverse and journey through and beyond? And for some of you, if it's your first time here, I know I didn't spend much time at the beginning sharing this, but every session is unique and totally different, not only between sessions, but for each person that's here. For some people, that may have put them into a nice, peaceful lullaby of sleep. And others, they are riled and ready and focused and rearing to go and everything in between. So no matter what your experience is, it's perfect. And that's because it speaks to the power of frequency. Frequency meets us where we are. Frequency is just the speed at which something is vibrating. So we receive vibrations, and then, because you are actively choosing to be here, to participate, even if you just passively receive and feel, your body will receive and feel those vibrations and direct them into the places that it is most needed. That's why every session feels so unique and different, because it's based on your vibration. So Jeremy, let's go through some of these comments and see what how this all was for you. I love it. Kira, thank you for joining us from the Netherlands. So glad that the audio finally shizzled out here on Insight Timer as well. Sandy says, Sandy, glad you joined us in Cape Cod. She's out of the desert, into the green with the birds chirping and the vibrant forest. Well, I love that. It's a great place to meet an archer. Fantastic. Robin says that you loved Cape Cod. Amazing. Johnny says, thank you so much. Johnny B. from Los Angeles. It was beautiful. Thank you for being here, Johnny, my friend. Nice to see you. Nice to connect with you. I'm glad it was beautiful and helpful to you. Lisa says, so beautiful, thank you. Gloria says, wonderful, thank you, amazing. Susan says, wonderful practice, thank you. I'm glad this is helpful. Kira says, I just overcame a giant hurdle and I love the archer's story. She is with me. Yeah, I love your emojis, your fire and your strength. Yes, you are, Kara. Yes, you are. And yes, she is. Liza says, thank you. Love your full moon emoji. Sandy says, peaceful, loving, joyful. In touch with some anger and then acceptance and forgiveness. Amazing, absolutely. We got to have the entire gamut of the human experience. You said Cape Cod travel yesterday was a lot. Yeah, getting grounded in your new spot on the planet. And it's amazing how differently our bodies respond and feel when we move or travel or shift our physical location. And it's because so often we are grounding into new areas. One secret that I like to do is that you don't necessarily have to be in the same physical place to ground in a certain physical place. So it's very helpful when you do, because then you're really, really present. But if there's ever times that you're feeling homesick or just very disconnected and unsettled, in your mind's eye, you can actually feel yourself grounding into your place of choice, that place that you call home. Just two different experiences. Sandy says, our country is very sad and scared for me these days. Yeah, the whole world. We get to choose how we perceive and move through that energy information, because the more we can hold our light, the more that light is held. So good for you for holding your light to what is true and kind and right for you, because your truth will magnify and be illuminated for others to help them feel more secure and more aligned and more deeply resonant with the idea and the truth that all is well. I love you for sharing that. Thank you. Nocturnal says, mystical and whimsical. I love that. Amazing. Michelle, thank you for joining us from Oklahoma City, Route 66. Very cool. I love that. Dawn says, you'll look up your exact ascension time. Very cool. Yeah. The rising sign really shares a lot about how we literally move into the world. In fact, many of us in the Western world are really only familiar with Western astrology. But if you look at Vedic astrology, which comes from India, the ancient Vedas, the understanding, it's also called sidereal astrology. But there's two different ways to measure the placement of planets. When we have Western or tropical astrology, and Vedic, sidereal, it's a little bit different. But in sidereal and Vedic astrology, the rising sign is the Mac Daddy sign. That's actually what we look at. Oh yeah, that's your sun sign, cool, yeah. No, but what's your rising sign? And sometimes your rising sign will be different in Vedic astrology versus in tropical astrology. That's true for my chart. My rising sign in Western astrology is Taurus. In sidereal astrology, it's Aries. So it's just something interesting you may want to look at, lean into, and do a little online investigative research and see what truths surface for you. Remember, astrology is not the destination of this is how everything's going to shape out and this is what's going to happen. Astrology is a roadmap for the terrain through which we will traverse. We're going to walk through it. We're going to experience it in some way, shape, or form. But how we choose to perceive that terrain and what we do with it and how we move with it is always up to us. So we're not fated by any stretch, but I think it's nice to have a little handy roadmap. It's kind of like when you're driving on the interstate and you have Waze on and it says, danger in the road, road debris coming up in a quarter of a mile. Great. Okay, cool. So I know, oh, there's road debris. Yep, still there, road debris. That's kind of how I think of astrology. It's just a really cool Waze system. Oh my goodness. Lori says, thank you. Grounding and love the energy. Powerful. Thank you again. Thank you as well, Lori. It's so nice to see you joining us from Madison, Wisconsin. Gail says, this is wonderful. Thank you. Yes, see you in a couple of hours. Yes, you will, Gail. If people are like, what is she talking about? Well, we're going to have a little switcheroo around here. Join us at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time. We're going to be back with the 12th installation of the 12-part series of The Hypnotic Heart. It is a beautiful practice that I love to share with you all. And this is the final series where we expand into your boundless potential. So apropos for the day, so apropos for the theme we just worked on. I hope you will join us. And be sure to join us. We're continuing this pursuit into the month of June because there's a lot going on. We'll be back on June 9th for the Abundance Portal. On June 9th, there's this beautiful conflation of Venus and Jupiter. They actually form an exact conjunction, which is just really cool way of what's happening is that there's this gorgeous, immense wave of grace, luck, and material riches that vibration is coming into the collective field. So we might as well surf, ride those waves. So join me on June 9th. That's a Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And my friends, I'm so excited. We are coming back. We are doing a full Summer Solstice online full weekend event starting June 19th, Friday night, June 20th. 2 sessions on that Saturday, June 20th, and then a full ceremony on June 21st, the actual summer solstice. If you want more details on that, actually join us. Go to charlene.com/solstice. Remember, Charlene has 3 E's. Charlene, CharleneNE.com/solstice. And here's why. My friends, this is not a summit. There are no talks. There's not panels of speakers. This is a weekend. 1 field, 4 live sessions with the sun sitting high in the sky, which means we are illuminating. And we're going to do this in a slightly different way. You need to check out charlene.com/solstice because if you sign up, we will be able to send you a private link to join us on Zoom. Yes, we will be streaming this on Insight Timer. Yes, we will be streaming this on YouTube. Yes, we'll be streaming it on social media platforms. However, the only way to connect with me one-on-one, where I actually bring you onto the screen, and we do a little bit of a specialized looking into frequency just for you, is if you join us on Zoom. So you got to make sure that you sign up, join us, so I can send you those links for Zoom, and you can join us at any time. In fact, I'm going to do a little impromptu of what that would look like. Well, what would that look like? Okay, so who's the first person I see on my screen? Let's go with Sandy, actually. Okay, so Sandy on Insight Timer. Yes, Sandy, this is for you. So imagine, everyone, Sandy's on the screen with me. Sandy and I have a little bit of chat. I'm using this because Sandy actually shared not only is she's going through, she's grounding, she has been traveling, she's feeling sad and a little bit of fear going on right now. So Sandy, this information is coming through specifically for you. That's just a little bit of a taste. It's very different. We have an opportunity to actually connect as well. And so we're going to be doing that all weekend for the summer solstice. So if you'd like to join us, I'd love to connect with you. Go to charlene.com/solstice. Be sure to sign up. We'll send you all the emails that you need, all the timing. That website actually has all the information that gives the timing, the beautiful sessions that we'll be doing. The first night, we're going to be doing a Yoga Nidra session, diving into a Midsummer's Night's Dream. Saturday, we have a morning session as well as an afternoon session. And then Sunday, high noon, we're going to be really connecting into the vibration of the solstice. It's a powerful time of year where you can unlock hidden information from deep within as the light of the sun illuminates overhead. So, can't wait to see you there. Hey, Shay says, can I ground and send the feeling to loved ones in their location? The great thing is that because we are all connected, this is not woo, this is quantum physics, you can absolutely send information via grounding, or you can send it even just through intention. The easiest way actually is less about grounding, because when we ground, we're typically grounding our physical self, our physical space, into a physical place. So what you're really asking to do is, can I send love to someone else. Absolutely. And science actually shows that. If you'd like to know the science behind this, check out the book, Real Magic by Dean Radin. Fantastic read, and lots of science that backs all of this up. Also, an easy technique that we do every practice is heart coherence, because when we begin to activate a coherent heart, all of our own systems come online and activate, and then you can direct this activated energy information anywhere you want it to go. So someone can begin to feel, if that's something that they can tune into, for instance, that love, that care, that appreciation, that gratitude that you cultivate, you hold in your field, because it's connected to them, they will begin to sense and feel that vibration as well and receive its benefits. That's not me making things up. That's science. So yeah, great question. So glad you asked it. Don says, beautiful session today. I'm so glad. Elmira, yeah, the fear doesn't affect you holding the light. I love it. Yes, good. Anything is possible. Well said. You are so right. All is well. You love the themes of E minor, E major, Epiphany. I didn't even get that. I'm so glad you said that. Elmira, lots of E's going on here. Fantastic. For any of our non-native English speakers, Epiphany starts with E. So E major, E minor, Epiphany. There you go. City John, thank you, Charlene. It was so powerful and deeply resonated with your Sagittarius rising. Well, that's very exciting. I love that. I hope you have a beautiful day, my friend. Mary says, beautiful and grounding. Even my 4 cats got very quiet and calm. One was quite hyper when we started. Aren't they always? Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I'm so glad you shared. And we send our love to your little sweet pussy cats. Gail Goldberg says, astrology is a blueprint. Yes, it is. Free will is a thing. Preach, indeed. Look into the western sky after sunset and watch Venus and Jupiter move closer together this week. Exactly. It's actually setting us up, Gail, for that June 9th event. I'm so excited to be coming and with you and sharing as we hold that space for the abundance portal. Abundance can be whatever it is that you want. Jupiter, the bringer of jollity, of gaiety, of prosperity, of goodness, and whatever that means for you. It doesn't have to mean the same thing for me or for her or for him. And Venus, that the planet of its sensual ability to experience and feel the world. And it's not just a singular. Kind of excited about that. Be well. Be sure to join us for the Summer Solstice Retreat and go to charlene.com/solstice and learn more. If you forget that, just look up my name online, go to my website, click on any of the profiles. It'll take you straight to my website. Scroll down a little bit on the page and there it is, Summer Solstice. We're so excited to be doing this with you and for you. My friends, may your path be illuminated. May wisdom always light your way, and may your horizon ever illuminate the path that is yours and yours alone to walk. I love you. See you soon. Sat Nam.